We are so fortunate to live in a small world with so many cultures, so much beauty, and so much diversity. The world waits for no one, and it's up to each of us to discover its magnificent destinations. I want to make travel accessible to all of us by showing how it can be done safely and inexpensively. We had to do a low-budget pilot episode on DIY destinations to show our crowdfunding supporter that we are determined and committed. Given our budget constraint, the destination has to be interesting, inexpensive, and close to home. So we quit our job and hop on the bus to DC. Okay, we're here at the Union Station of Washington, DC. This is what happened, the damages that leave behind when you're on the bus for 18 hours, but it's not going to stop us from exploring. Just like everyone else, we offer the most economic option by getting around the city with a metro. It's pretty confusing at first. If you want to pick up a fare saver's card at the station, you can't do it at the regular blue machines, and eventually after a few minutes of trying and bombarded by homeless people trying to sell fake tickets, we found the correct dispenser hitting the dark area at Union Station. You save $1 on each ride, which means a lot to us given our budget. The car is $10 itself with $8 credit, and the fare is based on the distance. One thing that bothers me is all metro stations in DC are very dark. We just found out where we need to go. It took us like 10 minutes to figure out. The metro here is like pretty advanced, so be prepared. And you have to be very, very, very quick. Where are we going? We're going to a hostel, and the train just shut on us, and I guess we're not fast enough, so we'll have to wait for the next one. Except for we're going to be much quicker this time. Look at that. My magic knock. After getting lost and running late, we just don't want to waste any more time given everything closed at 5 p.m. So right after we check into our $20 a night hostel, I quickly did my makeup and got ready to film. So I am not used to makeups, but since we have a budget, I can't afford to have the makeup artist come along this time. So she labeled this one number 1. Is Cathedral. Number 4 is, let's get this over with. We are back at the Howard Shaw.
No, Shaw Howard.
Okay, we are back at the Shaw Howard University metro stations, and we are rushing to Washington. The National Zoo right now because it's closing at 6, and we want to get that out of the way because I love pandas. I really do. The zoo admission is free, but the average metro fare is $1.75 depending where you are, and you get off at the Whitley Park station on the red line. And yes, we are rushing because we still need to walk. So after a 15-minute subway ride from the Chinatown, we had to come up, walk north, and come all like another about 10 minutes? 10 minutes to get to the world famous Washington Zoo, and I can't wait to see my pandas right now. Let's go. Built in 1889, it is one of the largest and the oldest zoo in the United States with 3,200 hectares. It's home to 2,000 animals, including 30 to 40 endangered species. But there's one big problem. Where the heck's the tigers? Unfortunately they are not home. It's actually A little bit disappointing because coming to a zoo and there's absolutely no species to see except for one species in particular, and that's humans right here. They are everywhere. But other species being kept up because of winter time. Guess what else I see? Not the Gangnam style, but with the exception of few with furs, hopefully our panda will have a fur coat. Alright, I think we found our panda, Tintin and Mei Xin. Unfortunately, that is as close as we can get today to the real pandas because it's so cold. But let's see what else is warm and fluffy and cute here in National Zoo. Let's do it. Okay, we did not find anything warm and fluffy and cute yet, but I found something really big. Guess what that is? Elephants. Well, I have to admit, I was a little bit disappointed when we see almost no animal at the National Zoo. So someone else told us the National Cathedral is nearby and we walk all the way here and magnificently, look at this. Located between Wisconsin and Massachusetts Avenue, the Washington National Cathedral took over 83 years to build beginning in 1907 with average audience at Sunday service exceeds 1,700 people. We didn't get to go inside the cathedral since the tour ends at 5 p.m, but from the outside you can see the magnificent structure as it is one of the tallest in DC and 6th largest cathedral in the world. We headed back to Chinatown at the Gallery Place station since we heard there is actually a Chinese Peruvian restaurant. We just apparently arrived at Chinatown, but this does not sound so look so Chinese to me, but so let's go this way. Maybe we're able to find our Chinatown in DC.
We just stop right here.
I think the main gate is right down there. Let's see how Chinese we can get tonight. Okay guys, look up there. That looks pretty Chinese to me, but we need to find a Chinese restaurant right now. And boy, I have very high standards for cheap Chinese food. Let's see how cheap we can get. $7.95 dinner special. Okay, we're gonna pass on that one. The cheapest is like $7.95. We're going to probably have to skip this one too. Now apparently you can see there's a restaurant called Eat First, but no, we have to check out the price. And I'm telling you this right now, we are not going to be eating here. Okay, we actually are looking at the menu for every single Chinese restaurant here. And it seems like the definition of cheap Chinese doesn't come together in DC. Apparently we did end up finding the infamous Peruvian Chinese restaurant here in DC. But given the look of it, this is definitely not going to fit our budget. It does not look cheap, and we don't have that luxury tonight. So we can go back and eat at the other restaurants. We really want to discover the night scenery here in DC, so we decided to settle for a $10 meal just this once to avoid wasting time. After we have our not so cheap Szechuan beef and General Tao chicken with fried rice, we decided to go over to the Capitol Hills to the National Mall, and we found this really cool place actually belongs to Canada. So come. You can, I hope you can hear it. You can hear it. You can hear it. This is not technical difficulties. This is called Echo Hall. Because everything I say is echo, and these are the shields that represent all the Canadian territories and provinces. And so, before come closer. So before I say goodbye to this place, I'd like to give a shout out to Hello Canada! Woo! Going home is not an option given the weather is so nice and we are surrounded by beautiful scenery of different parks and memorials. So this is Washington Monument, a must-see attraction in Washington, D.C. The ticket is free, but here's a catch. You must reserve your tickets online month in advance. I'm not kidding. Or you have to come here, get your luck at 8:30 in the morning sharp because there's going to be tons of people lining up. Right now it's 8:45 and most of the tickets are gone for the day, and we're very lucky to get our tickets given this trip is planned on such a short notice. So we are about to go up to Washington Monuments right now. We're inside. For one more of the tip is please pack.
We are, however, still the world's tallest freestanding stone building, and by that I do mean that there's no steel or rebar or anything at all holding up these 36,000 stones. It's just gravity and really good construction. Notice we don't tell anybody that till after you commit to the elevator ride. You can't go back now.
Even on a foggy rainy day, our view were just breathtaking and truly shows the sheer power of American spirit. Being inside this historical structure is like going back in time, and we can't help but to appreciate the history of this country and the sacrifices of many to become one. More recently, the structure was closed after the Virginia earthquake in 2011. It was reopened in 2014. I know this is the part that everyone's looking forward to, the dollar challenge. I really want everyone to come to Washington, D.C. and discover all the amazing attractions. And to give you an incentive on a challenge, I'm going to place $1 behind this column in the stairwells, and hopefully you will come and get it yourself. So I hope you will be the first to find it, and good luck.
So right now we're about 150 feet in the air. What happens 150 feet up on the outside?
The construction of the monument began in 1848 and was halted between 1854 to 1877 due to lack of funds in the American Civil War. When it's finally completed in 1888, it became the tallest structure in the world until it was surpassed by the Eiffel Tower the following year. Just a few minutes away is the White House, and I remember being inside as a little child and going into the Red Room. But after September 11, all U.S. citizens must submit a tour request to their Congress member and line up early. So for those of you guys who are foreigners, unfortunately you're out of luck, except for you can go into the White House Visitor Center right across from the White House and see lots of cool artifacts. Let's go and take a look. Harry Truman likes fried chickens, biscuits, and all that unhealthy stuff, and Ronald Reagan likes, who wouldn't like this, jelly beans. At the visitor center, I took the chance to share my DC journey by picking up some postcards to mail home. Along the way to the Lincoln Memorial, there is a memorial honoring those who fought in World War II. As we start filming at the Lincoln Memorial, the rain started, so we decided to leave and return at another day. We do have other plans today, but because the weather didn't cooperate with us, we end up in the Air and Space Museum, given the fact that I'm also a pilot and flying is my lifelong hobby. And it's the only place on the planet, in fact in the entire universe, where you can actually touch a moon rock without going to the moon. It's so inspiring to get so close to the Apollo moon lander and be surrounded by all those rockets, historical planes, and even a Voyager spacecraft. You'll get a great appreciation of Americans' contribution to the space exploration and its proud heritage. The highlight is visiting the center of the Western democracy at the Capitol Hill just a few steps away. This is absolutely a must-see if you're coming to Washington, D.C. And please, guys, if you are, please leave your belongings at home. Honestly, a pat-down is not a sensational massage, and I don't think you like to be touched the way I've been touched today. Look at that, that's gold. Actually, while we were filming, this dude, Jason, really cool guy.
Oh my God.
We know each other for I don't know how long, but he came in 8 years, just since 2007.
2007, when we first met in Berkeley,
Yeah.
California.
Try to hit on the girls though.
Yeah.
So, being inside the Capitol, you almost feel like going back in time, knowing some of the founding fathers and powerful elite walked through the same halls, corridors, and stairs for the last 250 years. The best way to discover the Capitol is to reserve a free guided tour online.
Look at it. Doesn't it look like Thomas Jefferson?
You really get a great understanding of American history through many historical statues and original painting.
Look at the man holding the cross. That's Father Sarah from California. He had missions before California.
The motto of the United States is out of many, one. And everywhere we are reminded of the forefather that made the sacrifice and compromise to build this modern democracy. And to avoid another security check, you can go through here to the Library of Congress without going through security round 2. So yes, no pat downs, thank God. Next day, our cameraman Stan really wanted to visit that space shuttle at the Air and Space Museum at the Hostel Center. Getting there was actually really easy, but time-consuming, over an hour and 45 minutes each way. On top of the metro fare, you need to transfer onto bus 983 in Virginia and pay another $1.75. Here, you can see rare planes such as SR-21 Blackbird up close. But the main star of the attraction is undoubtedly the space shuttle. Whoa, look at that. So majestic. It's unbelievable how close you can get. Still, you can't quite touch it. The other star includes the one and only supersonic Concorde on display in the United States. Another great thing about this museum is you get to see all those rare planes being restored for display in action. Well, maybe not now. Not everything in DC are dedicated to politics, and there's every type of museums and galleries dedicated to whatever your interest. And it's easy to get lost in the sea of museums. So we got lost because there's a Museum of American History, and over there is Museum of Natural History. That's where
Yo, this is Jason in the building.
It's so nice to share a travel with energetic friends, in this case, Jason.
Again.
That's the department everyone can see. And hopefully someday someone will burn that department down so no one needs to pay any more tax. We decided to visit the Museum of Natural History to learn the world we live in. It's so big that you can easily spend a whole day here and learn, especially the evolution of our own human species and how we are all related. It's also a chance to learn about our distant cousins from the land to the sea. I think I'm going to pick up some flour for my dates. In the end, you get a greater appreciation of the world we all share. And yes, there's lots of jewelries on display for the ladies. In most cases, I do not advocate buying souvenirs from gift shops and so on because most of the stuff is made in China and just doesn't go to the right places. But in this case is an exception. We are in Smithsonian gift shops, and the money that you spend here actually goes toward maintaining the museums and keep this place operation. Talk about that. I think I can go for some Dino Poo. On our way to the Chinatown for dinner, something caught our eyes and we started debating. So, on the way out from the National Gallery Garden, we haven't found this strange sculpture. Jason, what do you think it looked like?
It looks like a, you know, a vagine, if you know what I mean.
Okay,
You know?
well, we try to keep it as...
vagine.
You mean like a genital?
I don't know, we'll keep
Who
it...
uses the kind of words like that?
We will keep at
You know,
PG-13.
we use like a flower, you know,
Okay.
like a woman's flower.
Okay, that's a great way to put it, but as you can see, we have no clue what it is, and apparently it doesn't mention on the plaque what exactly it is, but you have your imagination. One great thing I realized is DC is really compact, and if you enjoy walking, you can basically go anywhere by foot. You don't even know what you're going to bump into, like the place that Lincoln got assassinated. However, there is a heavy police presence because you are in the US Capitol.
Oh, look at the sky, beautiful.
So this is our third day here in Washington, D.C. We finally managed to find a place, Chinese food, with a comparable price to New York and Toronto. It's not as cheap as them, but it's comparable. So here what you get is a dinner special is $6.99. You get rice and curry chicken and also a can of pop. I also decided to order a hot sour soup for $1.75 and a bread pastry, very traditional Chinese food. That's $1.50 plus tax, of course. Now I'm gonna give you an honest opinion on all these three items. Here you go. I'm gonna have a little bit of rice first. And some meat. It's a little bit plain, a little bit too plain, but it's fine. And let's try out the soup. Oh, there is some bones in the chicken, and I'm gonna try it. Well, too much soy sauce, but it's fine. And I'm gonna see how close can this be to the real thing. It is a little bit too hard. The dough is a little bit too hard, but you can't really expect, you know, because in Washington D.C. don't have a real Chinatown. So I guess this is the best way you can expect. So I'm gonna go back to enjoy my food. I would give this, let's say, 2.5 stars out of 5. To avoid the massive crowd, we decided to film during the weekdays. So there's not really much to do at night. We decided to call it a night and give our poor feet a rest for another 14-hour filming day tomorrow. Good morning! Welcome back to Washington, D.C. Today's our final filming day. As you can see, we are getting ready to pack up, and also I'm going to do my makeup really soon. I also want to show you what hostels are like here in Washington D.C. for $20. Now, most of the time, I just advocate you just need a place to sleep because you're not going to stay in a 5-star hotel and watch TV in a new destination. I'd rather you spend your money on food, you know, cultural things, activities, and so on. However, there is one problem. Last night, I had the loudest door from our bunk bed buddy down here. I was sleeping out there, and the snoring is enormous as echo comes upwards. Being a budget traveler, you do have to prepare for many things, and this is one thing you have to prepare for. That's a bathroom right in there. So basically, it's not bad for $20 a night, but like I said, it's no 5-star hotel. Most of the museums are located at the Smithsonian Station, and the government and historical sites such as the White House and Washington Monument are located near the Federal Triangle. Today, we are getting off at the L'Enfant Station to visit the U.S. Treasury. We finally discovered where the cheap food can be really found. At the station, you can pick up a full breakfast for $5, and there are street foods along the sidewalk near the government buildings. I just found out that, boy, I ran out of extra cash. So I'm going to visit the Bureau of Engravings and Printing to pick up some extra cash. So hopefully I can bring home $1 million. That's all I'm asking for. Here, you can actually see how money are being printed, but due to security concerns, we're not allowed to film the process. I actually remember I do have $1 million right here, and it's mine, but the only problem is I just can't remember where the key is. Oh man. Now, and here you can pick up $1 million startup kit. And with this much money, I think I'm gonna call in sick tomorrow. Right next to the US Treasury is the United States Holocaust Museum, where we also discovered the worst of humanity and the reminder of the danger of racism and segregation. I couldn't help how lucky I am that I live in a country where tolerance and respect for all race, like myself, are Asian. Being here makes me appreciate how lucky I am to given the opportunity to succeed, to make this program, whereas Roma and Jewish people never had a chance during World War II. But in the end, it's a lesson that we must learn, and also the importance of forgiveness and have faith in humanity as whole. Similarly, the blacks in North American native population also suffered. We continue our journey to the Museum of American Indians. It's amazing how we've forgotten how many things and ideas originated from the native Indians and their contribution to building of this great country. You also have a chance to taste the native dishes from many tribes across the Americas, like the buffalo and the wild rice salad. It's expensive, but remember the museum admission is free and the profit goes towards supporting it. Across the tidal basin lies the Jefferson Memorial, honoring one of the most important founding fathers as the main author of the Declaration of Independence. You get to see a breathtaking view of the Washington Monument and the National Mall and enjoy some peace and quiet, well, unless the president is coming home. The weather was cloudy and rainy on the day we wanted to film the White House and Lincoln Memorial, so we took this opportunity on this clear day to reshoot that segment and also film a pledge video for our crowdfunding campaign. To get the ball rolling, I'm going to spend some of my money creating a pilot episode DIY destinations for Washington, D.C. So I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. As we head back to the Lincoln Memorial, my cravings kicks in and we decide to try the street vendors. Stan opted for the ice cream and I opt for the egg roll. Not a great choice. The sunset was just breathtaking from the Lincoln Memorial, especially you can see the other end of the National Mall. The temple was built to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, who led the United States through Civil War and to abolish slavery. The step of the memorial is also where Martin Luther King delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech in 1963, March on Washington, to his 250,000 supporters, calling for an end to racism and equality. Unfortunately, we only have so much time to cover so much in such a small amount of time, 3 days. But there's so much more to see and do here in Washington, D.C. And I also hope you enjoy watching this pilot episode of DIY Destinations. If you enjoy this travel series, please share with your friends and families, and please feel free to upload on websites such as YouTube and other file sharing sites. We also urge you to support us by supporting our Kickstarter campaign for our next 2 episodes covering Bolivia and Peru. My goal is to create a publicly funded travel show that everyone can watch and inspire everyone to go far. My vision is to create a travel show that inspires all of us to go out there and explore our planet inexpensively, have lots of fun, discover new destinations, and do it safely. So this low budget pilot episode is just our stepping stone to something grand that all of us can share. So I hope to see you next time in Bolivia and Peru. And by the way, it's time for me to mail out my postcards to my friends and families and go to a bank and to deposit the $1 million bills. See you next time. My last option is to grab 2 slices of pizza for $2.
You're eating pizza?
I'm wearing 1 slice, excuse me, 1 slice. My budget only available for 1 slice. Mom, I'm finally a millionaire. Oh my gosh. I don't like makeup, people. I'm making a sacrifice for our show. Right now it's like 12:09. We just finished shooting the first day. Oh man, it's like multiple take, right, Stan? Is it hard work?
Yes, lots of walking is so tiring.
It's, oh man. I can't wait to get all these makeup off. It's insane, like having these makeup on. And our camera is like our main camera. We got another main camera. Like the batteries ran out. Like even if we want to shoot, we can't shoot anymore. So we're using our backup camera. So hopefully everything's gonna be fine. And also, this is our last train. We have to run to this train, right? So if we miss this, we are walking like an hour and a half walking home.
Yeah, very far.
So that's kind of dedication we put ourselves in to shoot this.
Hard work. Oh yeah, it's a really hard
So
work.
please support us. You got to make a pledge to make this show happen because we're really dedicated.
Yeah.
All right. So peace. Today, what they say? Today's the 9th, right? March 9th. Peace.